All right, so I think it's important to go over this because in the next update, along with Himiko and Nova, we are obviously going to be getting additional collab for Fate along with Star Rail, that collab. And what's pretty cool is that we are also going to be getting another free character, but this time it is going to be an option between the two, that being Gilgamesh and that being Archer. You can choose one or the other. So is it going to be more fruitful for you to get a first copy of Archer or Gilgamesh, or should you just get a dupe into Archer? And honestly, I think this is kind of an interesting topic because of the fact that both characters are pretty decent. I would say Archer's probably a little better just based value wise, but to get the most out of them, like the absolute pinnacle of what they're capable of doing, they need to be run with their ideal partners. Gilgamesh obviously needs to be run with Saber, and then Archer needs to be run with Rin. But what exactly are the characters going to be doing? Well, let's go ahead and look at Gilgamesh first, and obviously this is the version 4 updated version kit. A lot of the stuff is different compared to when he was initially released, if you guys are following with that, so just keep that in mind. The biggest thing when it comes to Gilgamesh is his states that he's going to be in. Through the skill, he's going to be attaining the King's Acknowledgement, which is just essentially going to be allowing him to ignore 30% of the target's defense, lasting for 3 turns. That is huge. That is very good. The other states that he has is down over here, and when an ally uses their ultimate, Gilgamesh gains King's Burden, which is going to increase his ultimate damage by 40%, lasting for 3 turns. And when an ally target takes action, Gilgamesh gains 1 point of interest, and for each stack of interest, his speed is going to be increased by 10%. And once he is able to reach the 10 points of interest, he's going to enter the interest peaked state. In that state, he can only use his skill, lasting for the entire battle. After using the skill, this unit's interest resets. So essentially you are just going to be ignoring enemies' defense over and over and over again. But he has a secondary talent, is that when him and Saber attack, they consume 1 target or 1 attack tally. After each unit attacks, if his accumulated attack tally reaches 8, Gilgamesh and Saber launch a joint follow-up attack, dealing a boatload of damage based off of Gilgamesh's own electric damage and Saber's wind damage. So it is very important to keep that in mind. Now, for Archer, right, he's definitely a little bit of an older character at this current point. Came out around Finon, and for some reason I'm not seeing him. Where the frick are you, Archer? This is awkward. Did I pass Archer? There's no way, right? There he is. All right, Archer, what exactly is he doing? Well, he is a skill point SP hungry character. He is going to be doing most of his damage through his skill. His ultimate does a lot of damage, as you can see right there, but the most crucial part is his skill, because after actively using skill 5 times, when the skill points aren't efficient to skill again, exits the circuit connection state. And what exactly is that? Well, he's going to be doing damage to a single enemy. The current turn does not end. The damage dealt by Archer increases by 100%. This effect can stack up to 2 times, lasting until he exits the circuit connection state. Essentially, you want to be consuming more skill points the more amount of times you are in that state, to increase his overall damage, because it's just where most of his damage is, and he also has follow-up attacks. Rin is crucial here. Words are tough today, man. Because she pairs up with Archer. She has somewhat similar ability, kind of like a joint-ish skill attack. It's very similar, but not as great. So the big question here is, as we discussed, should you get Archer or should you get Gilgamesh? Well, jumping over here to Theory Crafter Land, right? We only have version 4 notes actively at this time. I'm sure it's changed between Archer and Gilgamesh and their respective teams. But interestingly enough, they don't have Saber here for the version 3, so it's somewhat difficult to see exactly how Archer is going to be faring. But you know, and in every instance when Archer is present, you can see that he is paired up with Rin, except down here does 11.9 million, but you do need a SP character in order to activate his full potential. Saying that though, Archer right here with Sparkle, Welt, and Rin, you're doing at about 64 million damage, right? And Gilgamesh, you're doing about 49.2 million. Again, no Saber there. The Eidolon situation here with Archer is at E1 because most likely that is probably going to be the instance that you're going to be getting to. After using skill 3 times within 1 turn, recovers 2 skill points for all allies. That is exceptionally good. It allows Archer himself to do more damage overall. So the ultimate question, right, is between the two, who should you prioritize and target? Should you get Gilgamesh or should you get Archer? Personally, from my own standpoint, I'm getting Gilgamesh just to have him on my account. I don't really plan on using him that much. Just to have him, just to say I have him. But if you are really thinking about it, like who should I get, what should I do, well, you have to look at your own individual account. Do you have Sparkle? Do you plan on getting Rin? If both those questions are yes, get a dupe or get Archer right away. More important, better overall DPS character, especially if you can get him E1 regenerating skill points for his state is very crucial to do more overall damage. Do you have Saber, right? Do you have a character who is going to be cycling a lot of energy for Saber, like a Huahua or Sunday or some other like that? Then get Gilgamesh. But for overall DPS department, while yes, you are able to reduce enemies' defense, do a lot of damage, and by doing so, that allows Saber to do a lot of damage because, again, ideally, they want to be paired up with their best partners. I still think in this scenario, Archer is going to be the superior choice between the two free options. And again, I don't want to have to harp too much on this because this is only version 3, but I do think there is going to be a large gap between the two when it comes to the damage capabilities, especially if you're able to get this E1 that allows, and you know, you pair him up with Sparkle, who already is boosting the upper echelons of how much skill point consumption you have. If you're able to replenish that even more during his state, it's a dumb decision in my opinion to go for Gilgamesh. I do think Archer in this situation is going to be better long term, also because of the fact that his teammate that he is going to be paired up with is Rin, and you know, Quantum babies, everybody loves Quantum. Being able to do some little bit of resistance shredding is just so good.